Hi, I'm Julie of Jaybird Quilts, and I'm excited to tell you about the Sidekick ruler. The Sidekick ruler, here she is, comes full packaged, full color instructions, and she is the sidekick to the Hex N More, my original ruler. Adds new shapes to the family. They can play together or alone. The full color directions show how you're going to cut the 3 shapes. Got lots of information in here. If you're left-handed, I'm right, so I'll be showing that today, but if you're left-handed, go ahead and read the directions and then rotate them upside down, and then they will be oriented visually how you need to look at them to cut left-handed. So the 3 shapes are the triangle. We've got it in 4 sizes right here. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. We're just going to start with everything with cutting strips. Those 4 strips, simple as can be. Then we have our diamond, right there, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. And then we have our half triangle, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. And as my math teacher has told me, it is still, yes, a triangle. The reason we call it a half triangle is because we have a right and left. This is the only shape that we have mirror images. It isn't a mirror image itself, the shape. So be careful with your project, for instance, with Giggles or with Night Sky, whether you need right or left half triangles for your project. So, as I said, everything's from strips. So let's start with a 3.5-inch strip. And we'll start with diamonds. So on our ruler, we're always going to have the strip aligned with the bottom of the ruler no matter what size shape we're cutting. So we're going to line up the bottom, and we're going to line up the 3.5-inch line on the top of the ruler. And we're going to cut. And this first time is the only time we need to move the strip. We're just going to rotate the strip around one time. We're going to realign our ruler, 3.5, and we're going to cut. And if you ever forget where the shapes are on the ruler, these black marks here remind you where the shapes are. To cut more diamonds, it's simply just marching our way down the ruler till we have enough for whichever project we're doing. So after cutting the diamonds from the strip, it can be helpful to cut the points off. Then when you go ahead and sew them to each other, sew a triangle, it helps with alignment. So I'll show you a quick and easy way. This isn't required for assembly, but when I've taught this, some of my students have found this helpful. You're going to realign the diamond underneath the triangle markings here as shown. Cut the point off, rotate it around, do the same thing again. And this way, when you go to sew a triangle to the diamond, lines up perfectly right on top of each other. 1/4-inch seam from that point to that valley there, and you're not wondering where you line it up because that point's cut off. Simple, easy trick. So then, same strip, I can just switch to cutting triangles. Now for our triangle, we're going to flip the ruler upside down towards myself, line up our 3.5-inch lines, and cut. And that's how we're going to work it with the triangle. We're just going to keep flipping up and down. And as you can see, we have no waste when cutting the diamond, no waste when cutting the triangle, no waste when switching from shape to shape. It's as simple as that. So then, if we want to do half triangles, I'll start on the other end of the strip. If we want the right triangle, this is the right, we're going to cut our fabric 1 layer at a time, right side up. If we want the left, we're going to cut our fabric 1 layer at a time with the wrong side up. So I'll start by just showing you the right. So we're going to line up the 3.5 line and our baseline and cut our selvage off. And just like with the other one, we just have to flip it one time in the beginning. We're going to line the ruler back up with our 3.5 and our vertical line here. And then to get the next one, just going to rotate the ruler 180 degrees, line up our 3.5, and cut. We can work our way down the strip. So these both look like this one. Now to get our left, same process, but with the wrong side up. So we're going to line this up, 3.5, same, rotate it around 180 degrees, line it up, and when we flip these pieces over, we see that they're the left. And then the other way to do it is if I know that I need both right and left from the same fabric, I'm going to start with the strip folded like it comes off of the bolt, the selvages together. So I've got my wrong sides together here. So this is a 2.5-inch strip. So I'm going to line up my 2.5-inch line, the bottom of my ruler, and I'm going to cut. And just for the first time, I'm going to rotate it around one time. I'm going to line up my 2.5-inch line and my vertical line and cut. And each cut that I make, sticking together a little bit, is going to yield a left and a right. So this is the option to do when you know that you need an equal number of right and left from the same fabric. Fast and easy way to get both the right and left at the same time. So 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, it's as simple as that. Lots of different patterns available. Like I said, this one is Giggles here. Fast, easy baby quilt, no Y seams in any of them. Night Sky uses all of the different shapes. The Rock Candy Table Topper is a great way to use up charm squares or leftover 2.5-inch strips. So lots of possibilities, 3 shapes, each one in 4 sizes, all from one ruler. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Julie of Jaybird Quilts.